was and is that under the regulation CI 127, regulation 4410, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, who doubles as the returning officer for the presidential election, was required to be in the collation room with us as the regional summaries were coming in, so that together with her we will together ascertain what the concerns were, arrive at conclusions before we could move on to the possibility of Form 13. That, as at the time I was granted the interview, never occurred, and indeed it never occurred up to now.
Now, Dr. Pesa White, are you aware that your colleague in the headquarters on the 9th, Mr. Rojo Metinunu, certified some of the regional presidential summary sheets that came from the regions? That's the Form 12s. Are you aware?
Yes, my lord, I'm aware.
Can you tell this honorable court those forms that were certified by Mr. Rojo Metinunu?
Yes, my lord. My lord, if you, with the greatest of respect, allow me, I'll refer to my file.
My lord, which document is the witness referring to?
I want to just be sure my lord, give the correct regions. It's certified Upper East, Upper West, Volta, Oti, Ahafo, Northeast, Northwestern, Western North, Western region, Bono region, Central region, and Ashanti region.
So, in spite of the concerns expressed in your interview, your colleague certified the forms from Ashanti region, is that correct?
That's correct, but my lord, when the Ashanti region summary sheets came into the room, both of us there were representing the candidate, the petitioner in this case, and the political party. We consulted with the party at the regional level to find out what exactly was the situation as far as their computations were concerned. On the basis of what we were told by the party representatives at the region, we certified. Thereafter, we got information from the party at the national level when I spoke to the Deputy General Secretary of the party that the figures the party had collated was far less than what was indicated on the summary sheet that we had certified. And I brought that issue to the attention of the EC officials in the National Coalition Center.
Now, the party representative or the petitioner's representative in the Ashanti region who certified the form before you also certified in Accra is called Boja Jemfi, is that correct? Ernest Boja Jemfi, is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Now, at the time you certified the 12 forms, that at the time Rojo Metinunu certified the 12 forms, you confirmed from all your regional representatives from the regional coalition centers before you certified, is that correct?
My lord, I need clarity on the question. Are you asking with respect to Ashanti or with respect to all the other regions?
With respect to all the others that you have just told this court that Rojo Metinunu certified?
Yes, my lord.
Good. Now, let me ask you, was this the first time you were representing the petitioner in the strong room of the EC?
Yes, my lord.
Did you undergo some form of training as part of the learning process?
Yes, my lord.
Did you familiarize yourself with the rules under CI 127?
Yes, my lord.
You are well aware that for the purposes of our elections, declaration of results start from the polling station. Are you aware?
My lord, as far as I know, to the best of my knowledge, the declaration of presidential results only happens at the national level by the returning officer of the presidential election.
Now, at the polling station, when the voting comes to an end, the ballot boxes are opened in the presence of the EC officials and the agents of the presidential candidates. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
And in the presence of the agents and the EC officials, the ballots are counted. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Now, when the ballots are counted, the entries are made by the EC official on Form 8B. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
And each party's agent is given Form 8B when it is filled out to endorse. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Now, when the party's agent fails or refuses to endorse, he has to actually state the reason for his refusal on the form. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
And thereafter, each of the representatives of the presidential candidates present are given copies of this Form 8B. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Good. Now, we then move to the Constituency Coalition Center. The representatives of the presidential candidates are also there when all the Form 8Bs are put together and entries are made on Form 9 and 10. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
And again, when your representatives are there, they are given the Form 8Bs to Form 10s and 9s to look at and sign onto it. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
If they are dissatisfied, they are required to indicate their dissatisfaction on the form and state why they are refusing to sign. Is that correct?
That's what's supposed to be, my lord.
Coalition Center, these Form 12s are brought up. That is correct.
That's correct, my lord.
Now, do you know that there's a clause on Form 12 which says that the representatives join the regional coalition officer to declare that the results contained on those forms are a true reflection of the votes tallied from those regions? Are you aware?
My lord, I am aware.
Good. Now, as part of your responsibilities in the strong room, you are the eye and the feet and the ear of the presidential candidate, for that matter, the petitioner. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
So therefore, it is part of your duties to be there at all times. At least you are two. So if one is out, the other is there. Is that correct?
That's supposed to be the case, my lord.
Now, it is therefore, in my view, wrongful on your part to be suggesting